Hey guys, be sure before I get to this video, like the video. It's free. When y'all like the video, we actually get good views so on YouTube and Rumble. So please like the video, guys. It only takes a millisecond. And also, too, guys, I'm a little rusty. Like this is my first time coming back. So if I sound a little bit off, that's because I got a lot on my mind, and I that's why it ain't good to take long breaks from doing stuff like this because you got a flow going in. Typically, stuff happens and you get interrupted. So yeah. Um. So um. Yeah. Oh man. She scars AOC. You know, people always say we told you so. These the same people that defended the squad. Her husband co-founded Justice Democrats, Kyle Kalinske, and in kind of admitted that it was a failure. I'm sorry, like Giannis Antetokounmpo. Yeah, something video, man. And break it down. Uh, boy, here we go, guys. Let me see.
Interesting comments from AOC, who has become one of the more vocal members of Congress on the Democratic side. I mean, I was just seeing, Sagar, the Democrats apparently just got their act around to do like some press conference condemning the pardoning of January 6th rioters, and we're like, I mean, we're 10 other outrageous moves later. Like they're just, I don't know, they're a mess. They don't understand the landscape. They don't know what to do. They're totally pathetic in terms of any sort of a fight this time around. I've seen a lot of just like normie Democratic base type people who are loyal, vote blue no matter who, MSNBC types who are furious with the way that the Democratic Party has reacted or their lack of response.
Um, we- so, winning. I hope the Democratic base wakes up to that, but I doubt it. Like they have a case of Trump derangement syndrome, but like they don't give a fuck, man. Like yeah, they do the performative shit of pointing fingers at so and so for why they lost, but they don't care. They going to campaign for Trump. They campaign over Wade. Like they weren't gonna find Roe v. Wade into law, even though they had the majority to do it. When Biden got in there, he had the majority House and Senate. You know, it's like what a lot of people say you gotta have 60 votes in the Senate. All ways to do it. Is it was it Kamala Harris the tiebreaker? Their base don't care about nobody but theyself, bro. They care about their donors. The Democrats do. So wake up. Oh God. All right, guys. Oh, sweet.
To Trump 2.0 this time around. So in any case, AOC is one of the people who has asserted herself more. Jon Stewart had her on, and she made some interesting comments about insider trading, but also some interesting comments about Joe Biden on his way out of office being like, oh, there's a problem with the oligarchy. Really? Is there? Tell me more about that. Let's take a listen to what she had to say.
There need to be Democrats who walk the walk and talk the talk. There is an insane amount of hypocrisy, and the hypocrisy is what gets exploited to use the cynicism. And wherever there's a hypocritical window, for example, I think one of the most biggest examples of this is insider trading in Congress. Like,
dude, I don't know if I like, do I give snaps? I don't know what the kids do anymore, but like, dude,
it is like,
that's so crazy.
It's so crazy.
It's
crazy. I mean, like and this is the thing. It's like people think that everyday.
Crazy about this is like, see, if Kamala Harris won, AOC will not be talking like this, obviously, right? And John Stewart right there, he going along with it, but it's like it shows you that people ain't shit. They talk out the both sides of their mouth whenever it benefits them. See, before, I'm all in on Biden, and then Biden lose, and the Democratic Party is in a state of flux, I guess, according to a lot of people, flux. And now, it's like trading. uh, Trading is a major problem on both parties, but AOC, like, how do we get to insider trading? How is that a thing? Like, again, like, I'm pretty sure y'all know this. I'm preaching to the choir at this point, but is it like, oh God, it's like the government is supposed to serve the people, but inside trading is doing nothing but serving the politicians themselves. Like, the politicians supposed to work for the people. You know, I know why things are the way they are now, but I'm just saying, like, it's not how backward shit is, but God, man, I tell you what.
People are stupid. I'm like, do you all really think that people don't see this shit? Like,
they sit on a committee, they get information about a drug or a contract or a thing. They immediately make a call. The stockbroker changes things, and their portfolio swells.
Explodes. It explodes.
What are we doing?
And you're doing this on public trust,
right?
On like taxpayer finance, public, facilities. Like, it, of course,
you're regulating the market that you're trading on.
Exactly. And
you
like
run the casino.
And then we're supposed to act like money doesn't only corrupts Republicans. Give me a fucking break. Biden on his way out. It was only on his way out that he was like, this country's controlled by oligarchs. Bye. Like, we could have used that energy a couple years ago.
Accurate on all of that.
Well, I was controlling the oligarchs, but see, what going on is that it's a safe way, like if you do the tape, what's going on is I will control the oligarchs too, but see, what going on is that the Democratic Party fucked me over, so I'm just going just I'm talking out loud. Like, everybody and their mama knew that both parties are controlled by the oligarchy. Democrats, Republicans, all this, right? But yeah, like, crazy like AOC is, trying to just get a third party saying that the only thing they do is run presidential candidates, and then you like election season took off. You and Bernie Sanders, yeah, Bernie Sanders too. They're gonna support Biden and the Democrats, knowing that they don't have no agenda for the working class people. Like, y'all supposed to be more to the front list of the Democratic Party, but y'all are the establishment. Like, all the squad is the AFC is the establishment, guys. You see what I'm saying? Goodness. Okay. Oh shit. Hold on, guys.
Biden talk. It's like you endorse Biden, okay?
Not only that,
defended Biden.
She and Bernie actually, they were in the we're all in with Biden here to the end.
They were more with Biden than like Nancy Pelosi. So that's where part of it is just like, shut up, all right?
Well, here's the part to me. I think one of the
Holy shit. Like, Biden, even before the election even started, like, now you criticizing Biden and the Democrats, and it's just wow. Like, you criticize Jill Stein third party for no reason, because Jill Stein got more votes within the Palestinian community, the Muslim community. Your friend Biden's chances are winning. well, at the time he dropped out, Kamala, let me know, but it's wild. Like, dude, these people ain't shit. They talk out on both sides of their fucking mouths, bro. Oh, jeez, man.
There's a few points she makes that I think are important. Number one, about the way that hypocrisy is used against Democrats, and understandably so. I mean, she's talking about the insider trading piece. Also talking about, you had a lot of people, including Joe Biden, who were like, Trump's a fascist, and then are like, welcome to the White, welcome home, Donald Trump. And people are not going to believe you next time you raise the alarm about something, if you are not acting like this was really bad that he got elected, and I, still think the things that I said before were true, and this is a real threat. And so, to see Democrats the way that they've by and large responded, which is to be like, yeah, we'll see, and maybe we'll work with them and whatever. It's like, this is a wildly different energy than you were bringing up until 5 seconds ago. So even though your point about her and Biden is a correct one, and it's like, okay, well, where was that energy critiquing him previously? She is right in what she's saying here about, the Democratic response this time around to Trump.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's why when you're thinking about how this is all shaping up, I think it all comes to credibility. And say whatever you want about Trump, and he's switched his tune on many issues. But his core thing about immigration and trade, shit's been saying since 1976. He's got a consistency of message, and even when he's inconsistent, it's within his Trumpian MAGA framework. As you always point out, what are the things people like about Bernie Sanders? Basically been saying the same stuff since he's been running for office, and was it Burlington mayor? The problem I have here with the AOCs and all of that is you both try to be consistent on the issue. And let's be clear, she actually has been. She co-sponsored that legislation with Matt Gaetz on stock trading, so I'm not calling her out on whatever on this specifically. But she's a capital D Democrat, and that works for her sometimes. But it didn't, when you have that inability to call out your own side when it's happening in the midst of the big existential question of the time, do we support Biden or do we ditch Biden?
Oh, man, this is I have to actually agree with Saga said on this. Oh God, you know that your party doesn't give a shit about working class people. But now, again, since the election is over and shit, and Democrats have cooked to Trump to a certain extent. So Trump, so Master Trump is you ain't so bad after all, man. This is what the Democrats is. The Democrats would rather come home against Bernie Sanders for becoming president than actually win an election. They don't care. And AMC's, saying all this stuff now is just so hypocritical to me. That's why I've been browbeating on. Okay.
I don't know if a lot of people can have a lot of trust with you on this issue. So trust is everything in politics. I mean, why did Kamala at the end of the day lose? Her whole border hawk shtick, people were like, I don't believe you because of all this crap that you said in 2019. I think that you either still are open borders or maybe worse, you don't believe anything. And that's not
the real problem.
That's not a version that vibes with Trump, who has been 100% consistent, at least on illegal immigration, and that's mostly the valence of where people decided to fall with. So with AOC, with a lot of these progressive Democrats, it's I think Biden was poison for them because they both had to defend him, but even in the times when they knew that he was being bad, they had to stay silent. They lost a lot of trust. And so it's it's easy to say when you're out of power. And by the way, of course, this applies to Republicans too, right? This is the eternal problem of the insider-outsider dynamic.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I see, we're about to play Charlemagne. He's people should be more like AOC. I'm should they? Really? I don't think that she's been a very successful politician over the last 10 years. I would say she's actually one of the most failed politicians of the last 10 years.
I mean, here's
He ain't lying. I mean, the guy is fine. Like, she is a failed politician. The only reason why she still got her seat is because she has to she has to buck to the Democratic Party to some extent. Like, she can't really be full. If she was full, like, pro-Palestine, like, call out Israel, like, full time, like, her seat would be gone. Like, AOC be done. That would happen to, you know, like, APAC. APAC pushed out Cory Bush and Jamal Bowman, I think. Like, they pushed it out. Like, 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 money in politics is a cesspool, but that's just the truth. But yeah, overall, like, getting things done, like, she have like a low approval rating or something like that in Congress. You think, I forget what that metric was called, but it's some kind of metric. Yeah, like, ain't nothing but a flip flopper. Like, no piece of abolish race. Like, I don't know if y'all remember that. Like, that's when I start locking into politics, which sometimes I regret and wish I'd still be on sports Twitter, but I digress. I'm here now, so. But anyway, yeah, like, oh god, yeah. She's yeah, she's yeah. Bernie cut things.
Here's what went wrong for her. She came in as a true outsider.
Yeah.
Takes out Joe Crowley, who was, in leadership and close to Pelosi and all these people, and just sort of took a seat for granted. And she comes in and she knocks him out, and it's an earthquake, right? She decides before she's sworn in, she's going to protest outside of Nancy Pelosi's office and make this statement. And there were two different pathways, right? One was to maintain that outsider status and really be that bomb thrower and leverage the social media following that she had and continues to have, by the way, and use that grassroots power against the established Democratic Party power. She, step by step, chose the other path, which was to try to play the inside game. And we just really saw an example of how that.
Yeah. Obviously, when she did that protest outside of Nancy Pelosi's office, which was performative, but Nancy Pelosi came to her and said, "Hey, you continue to do that shit, I'm gonna get your ass up out of here." Then she had to change her tone. Krystal, she playing cat. She caping for a little bit. Now, when after that happened, AOC rhetoric changed slowly. Like, it was like an incremental shift. Like, really to 2020, 2021, when AOC really showed her true colors. Like, when she voted for the CARES Act, yeah, that was the end all be all right there. The CARES Act was the biggest transfer of wealth to the top 1%. Like, literally subsidizing the top 1%. White people dying of COVID and fucking, like, lost their jobs and get evicted from their homes and apartments. But yeah, that's but you're supposed to be a progressive. Yeah, let me continue.
That was a completely failed tactic. I mean, she wanted to be ranking member on oversight. And she pledged, reportedly, as part of that, like, if you let me do this, I am not going to primary any Democratic incumbents, which is an extraordinary concession, okay? Extraordinary concession to basically say, like, I'm going to lay down my arms against any critique I have against any of y'all in the Democratic caucus. And they still blocked her and put in Jerry Connolly, who, is literally suffering with cancer and is
They don't see a lesson. Like, they don't like you. I mean, they probably more so on you now than the others, but they don't like you. Being a guy that's suffering, like she said, suffering from cancer, that really should not be in Congress. He should be at home getting treatment for his cancer, recovering, being with his family. I just don't understand why people love Kamala so much. Like if I was sick, I would not be working. But whatever. Like that they wanted her to do. Support Biden, um, change your stance on everything. Like, don't talk about Medicare for all anymore. Like she did everything and she still got double cross, which she deserves it. Like, I don't feel bad for AOC. Like, I'm not a part of the Democratic Party. I don't even give a fuck, but I'm just saying, like, I don't feel bad. Like, you did this to your fucking self. Oh God.
Aged, it's and nobody's idea of a firebrand, right? Nobody's idea of a firebrand for a position that actually made sense for AOC, because oversight, it's all about like getting that clip that goes viral and sharing it on social media, whatever. It really was a good position for her within the context of the Democratic Party, and even in that she's black.
I'm gonna say this, now I'm gonna let it play. Like, we didn't get AOC in there for a committee seat. Like, that's one thing I just don't understand. Like, we got you in there because you proclaimed that you were going to fight for the working people, for the people that don't have no say. Like, that's why, you're supposed to be like with Cal Kalinske clan. You're supposed to be you and other people, the squad. Y'all supposed to be the Tea Party, the left Tea Party. But y'all turned out to be just want committee seats and magazine articles and book deals and y'all want all the fancy stuff that comes with this. And yeah, like, yeah, that's when that's why you should not be in the duopoly. That's why like the duopoly does it to you. It pulls you in, they might make threats to you if you're a little bit radical, too radical for them. But they pull you in, they give you all of the book deals and all of the magazine articles in the New Yorker and all these other sites, other platforms. And then it turns you into, I'm a kid for Biden, even though he's a shit. Right. Amen.
Blocked. So I think you're right, Sagar, that ultimately the test will come. Like, now it's kind of comfortable to have these critiques of, look, Joe Biden is done, he's out. It's all easy to see in retrospect the way this all went sideways, et cetera, et cetera. Are you going to have that energy when it's difficult, when it goes against where the party is and what they're doing? Because that's when it really counts. Like, we could have used that voice back when the Democrats were like, we're just not going to have a primary. Forget about the like Biden Kamala thing, because I think you could justify that when it turns out that Kamala actually on economics was going to be worse than Biden, like with regard to antitrust, SEC, crypto, possibly labor was not going to be as good as Biden. You could justify it from an ideological.
Hey, Krystal saying that though. So people saying that, Kamala will be better than Trump. People saying it right there, like Kamala is worse than Biden. Either way, that we voted for Trump or Biden, like, we still will say this, like, I don't think she will freeze federal grants and shit like that. But like that woman's situation in that video I showed you earlier, like, she'll still be, even with the snap or whatever, she still will be going hungry with Kamala in there. Like, like, 'cause say Trump and shit, Kamala shit at the same time. I'm not for either side, like, but like, yeah, Crystal.
Perspective, even though Biden obviously is too old, blah, blah, blah. But the real moment was back when Democrats said, we're going to cancel the primary. We're not going to have any debates. We're not going to have any choice. And that there was none of that energy from anyone at that point. So I think that is the question. If she wants to, and I think she does, if she wants to be a actual leader of a reformed, different Democratic Party, she's going to have to say things like this when it is difficult, when it is uncomfortable, when it requires her to bump up against her friends and colleagues in this institution. We teased the Charlemagne clip, so let me go ahead and play it. But he's been interesting also in the aftermath. I mean, he's very frustrated with the Democratic Party for a whole variety of reasons. But it was interesting to hear him pick up on AOC at least having some fight in her. Let's take a listen to what he had to say.
And don't get me wrong, you should be angry at people suddenly making nice with Donald Trump. But instead of Snoop and Nelly, what about the Democratic politicians who spent 4 years calling Trump the new Adolf Hitler and then started doing stuff like this?
President Biden, welcoming his successor to the White House, observed all the traditional niceties.
Joe Biden greeting Donald Trump at the White House with 2 words: welcome home.
There were smiles, there were handshakes. I mean, there was a real respect between the two.
This moment between former President Barack Obama and President-elect Donald Trump has gone viral.
You know what, though? Like, I made a TikTok video about this. Like, birds of a feather flock together. They like each other, man. Like, behind the scenes, like, people don't know this. Like, if y'all knew watching me, I'll tell y'all a secret. Um, the reason why they, snicker at each other, Democrats and Republicans, because they want us to be divided. Well, not me. They want you guys to be divided. They want you guys to be divided. They want to keep us divided because they know if we all come together, like all of us, no matter what party you voted for, like we have a lot in common. Like we all are struggling some way, shape, or form. Like it's different things. Like we all have our issues. Maybe we're struggling with healthcare. Maybe we're struggling with finances. Maybe we're struggling with this, this and that, for example. But this is who they really are, right? I don't care. You see, like, you don't hate Trump. You hate Biden. You hate Obama. Like, did I had Trump at the White House doing one of his that White House dinner thing. I don't know, the 2012. Like, they hate each other. Like, they just do that shit for the show, and people actually taking that shit, absorbing it. You know what I'm saying? Instead of us fighting against these, well, the billionaire oligarchs and these sons of bitches, we fighting against each other. You see what I'm saying? Like that's what they want. That's what the system wants. They use these as proxies. Like these people ain't got no power. The power is within the 1%. Like they control our government. Like but that shit, what's doing? Everybody's so God, more. Yeah, man. But this thing, like, this is nothing new. They're basically like Trump's into across the wall. Then Trump basically so people like this stupid identity with politics shit. Like that. But let me tell you, man. I want them that guys.
They chuckled like old buddies. Trump even made Obama laugh.
I'm sorry. If you tell us someone is Hitler, you at least have to act like he's Hitler. I know when Barack got home, Michelle was like, he hell. So Hitler got jokes, huh? In fact, here's the energy I wanted to see more of on Monday.
All these journalists are like, Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Congresswoman, are you going to the inauguration? Are you going to the inauguration? Let me make myself clear. I don't celebrate rapists. So no, I'm not going to the inauguration, bro.
See? Yeah. That's right.
I mean, like, wow, like, whip the freaking dude, yeah, she's doing that now to cater to the little bit of base she got. Like, pretty sure that AOC mostly based like the progressives, like the far left people that supported her are gone. So now she's got the liberal base that likes her now because she supported they buddy Biden, her buddy Biden too, and stuff like that. Like, oh God, like Hey, you'd be surprised 4 years from now, let's say if another Republican wins, like because the Democrats is not going to win for a long time. Like, yes, now, like Trump doing a lot of anti-working class shit. Like, but down the road, people going to forget that he even froze temporarily the federal grants and stuff. We gonna forget all this shit because people are people and they forget shit and they move on with their lives and they have short-term memory. Like, I mean, like, okay, like, yeah, let me continue.
That's right. That right there, that's backbone. That's principles. Man, I'm going to miss AOC when she's deported to Nicaragua.
Now, whether or not you particularly agree with that critique, Sagar,
Cringe as hell.
think about the difference, though, between Joe and
cringe.
Mika, who spent all this time and made lots of money and got super famous, comparing Trump to fascists and, yes, Nazis. And then immediately he's elected, and they're like, oh, we're going to make nice, and we're going to go down to Mar-a-Lago, blah, blah, blah. Versus, listen, she's been consistent on this, and she is acting the way you would act if you actually believe the things that you said. And that's the piece of this that I think is important, is, Democrats have by and large decided that like the thing to do in this moment is just to like sort of be quiet and see what happens and in certain respects like capitulate to him, etc., thinking then that will gain them credibility with the country. But I think that's the completely wrong calculus, because we all remember the things you said and you need to act consistent with those threats that you lay down and you claim to believe in. So I think Charlemagne is correct about that.
I don't think that they really do. I don't think that they really do believe it. I think they only believed one thing, that this resistance and to the extent all the rhetoric and everything, it was always fake. It was always just about getting elected. They didn't believe in it. They didn't believe.
Like, yeah, real. It was just back in 2017, 18, nothing but performative shit just to get elected, which I think that's the lesser reason why. It's the campaign off of it. Like this is their goal. Like the Roe v. Wade got overturned. They campaign off of it. It wasn't even like 10 minutes and it was already ads, emails, these politicians saying that you can keep it. Still need, real big ass still need, to me can, help fix Roe v. Wade. These people actually gave the Democrats millions upon millions of dollars, man. Like, oh God, imagine that millions of dollars will go towards mutual aid. Like, people should moan about me promoting somebody's cash out because they need help with groceries or some shit. But they quiet when it comes to people giving money to politicians and stuff like that. I just don't understand. Did we? It's just should be backwards. It just like it really makes my brain explode. But you try to stay cordial. So a few more minutes of this, man, and then I'm gonna get to the next story.
Believe in healthcare. They didn't believe in whatever, right? Almost all of it was just to get themselves either elected to win some midterms, to keep control of power, and then eventually around Biden, it was like to worship this cult of personality. And so really what's been revealed is they don't believe anything. Really what I think that they did believe is that Trump was democratically illegitimate. That was really it. Like that was their core belief that they could sell to the country. The reason why they're so in shambles is that obviously that's just no longer a case that you can advance. So now what? And look, it's exciting, I think, if you're a Democrat, because you're like, wow, everything's up for grabs. You have the lowest party ID in a national century. Like you have so many different ways that you could think about, who we are and what's next. But it's also, yeah, like you said, if I was one of those MSNBC people, these are normal folks, and I don't begrudge them, they're our fellow citizens. A lot of them did believe it. And so it's humiliating for them in some ways to look at this and to see what it really is. And I would tell you guys got taken for a ride. They never believed any of this stuff.
I think they know that.
I hope you.
Yeah, I think we ended right there, man. But yeah, but yeah, Democratic constituents that voted for Biden and voted for AOC, you've been used. And I think that's why people are waking up more and more. And that's why David Pakman and these other Democrat sipping YouTube channels that pretend to be left, which is disgusting. Like, I would rather for them say, hey, I'm a Democrat. I'm a Democrat by nature. I support Biden. I love the Democratic Party, but they pretend themselves to be on the left, which is, oh God, this is why I don't like shows anymore. But yeah, it's gonna be the same thing in 2026. Gonna be the same thing in 2028. Democratic Party don't give a shit about you. Republican Party don't either. I have to say that as well. AOC saying this shit now, but if the Democratic Party get back in power, she gonna be quiet again, and she gonna cape for whoever the fuck else running for president. And they say AOC might run for president in the future. That's not gonna work because I don't think the Democrats is gonna run a woman anytime soon. Everybody is getting rid of DEI these days, so AOC will be definitely a DEI candidate. Like Kamala Harris was one, Obama was one too. Like Democrats are doing DEI before DEI became a thing back in 2020. So I just had to, have a little humor there, right there. So I don't know